Hey everybody, Steve here, coming back again with another video for you all. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. If you are a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming back and watching this video. I'm going to do a hiking review today. It's going to be at Point Reyes National Seashore, and the trail is going to be called Tomales Point Trailhead. So first I'm going to be showing you what I thought were the great views that I saw during the hike, and afterwards I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown. So please enjoy the video and I hope to see you after.
Ten toes in my bankroll. Why you running away from me? I don't know. The thirsty on me, Paco. Why you running away from me? I don't know. I maybe see me say I missed that little feeling when I kissed your face. Apnea Rome, I was feeling so warm. Now I'm feeling so cold. Can you come and hold me? I don't think I'm okay. Tell me that you're okay. Every single thought inside my brain replaces your face. I don't think I'm okay. Tell me that you're okay. Every single thought inside my brain replaces your face. I don't like fighting, so it's alright. Fighting when I don't like dying. Let it go. Yeah, let it go. 10 toes in my bankroll. Why you running away from me? I don't know. The thirsty on me, Paco. Why you running away from me? I don't know. 'Cause I don't like fighting, so it's alright. Fighting when I don't like dying. Let it go. Yeah, let it go. It's been a while since we last spoke, baby. You were so cold that you drove me crazy. Don't know where to go, lose control. Think I need to let it go. Yeah, let it go. My heart so easily. And all the times we spent are just memories. 10 toes in my bankroll. Why you running away from me? I don't know. The thirsty on me, Paco. Why you running away from me? I don't know. 'Cause I 10 toes in my bankroll. Why you running away from me? I don't know. Fighting when I the thirsty on me, Paco. Why you running away from me? I don't know. Yeah, let it go.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So now let me give you a detailed breakdown of the hike. I track all my hikes two ways. First through the Alltrails app and second through the Apple Watch. So according to the Alltrails app, it was 9.7 miles. Elevation gain was 1,243 feet. Moving time was 4 hours and 14 minutes. Total time was 4 hours and 15 minutes. Calories burned was 2,577. According to my Apple Watch, it was 9.73 miles. Elevation gain was 1,270 feet. Active calories was 1,130. Total calories was 1,645, and an average 80 beats per minute. So now I'm going to give you some tips on things to know before going on this hike. I think the first and biggest tip is to please plan ahead, meaning you should have the Alltrails app behind like in the background of your phone, because there's going to be spots as you're going to go to this place where you're going to just completely lose reception or have no reception at all. So please have that in the background so you always know where you're going to go, because there are times where probably you will get lost if you don't have that in the background. Secondly, for parking, there's plenty of parking, but that is if you go early. As soon as I got back from my hike, the lot was completely full and people were kind of parking on side of the road. So that is also an option if you decide to do this later on in the day, but just know that there is a good ample enough parking in the beginning, but it does get filled up really quickly. Lastly is to please check the weather if you're gonna go. I went on a very cloudy day and really early in the morning. That's just because how I like to hike really early in the morning. There's not that many people and I can kind of have the trail to myself. But if you do decide to do this later in the day, please check the weather. I think it'd be amazing if you saw this when it was really sunny. But also you can also check the weather in terms of whether you need a sweater or not. Now I'm going to tell you the highlights of this hike for me. So the first and biggest highlight were the elk. The elk were obviously just majestic and amazing. They were huge. I saw a good number of them because I was the first one to get there. As people started coming in, they saw a few here and there, but being the first one on the hike, I was actually able to just see a lot more elk than normal. So that was a huge, huge highlight. They're majestic creatures. They have a ton of horns, and as I was researching, the more horns they have means the older they've kind of like lived and kind of just been alive. So I saw a few that had multiple horns, and you can just see them kind of just sprouting from them. So that was really, really great and amazing to watch. The second thing would be the ocean views at the end. So it's great to see the elk in the beginning and then the middle, and then towards the end, you're getting to a cliff where you just see the beautiful ocean. I was able actually to see some seal as they were swimming on the ocean, so that was also really great to see. You may be able to see some dolphins depending on the time of day you go. So it's really, really gorgeous and beautiful, and definitely, definitely Instagram worthy, where you can take some amazing pictures there. It's really, really beautiful. So please, please, if you do decide to do this hike, be aware of those. You're going to get some amazing pictures towards the end, but also you're going to get some great, great views of elk as you're going there. The last thing, or the third thing that I would say is a highlight was actually, is weird. It was a spider web. I've never for me personally, I've never seen a perfect spider web. And I saw it there, and you can kind of see the spider in the middle as well, just waiting for its prey. So that was, to me, pretty awesome and amazing, as it was just like waiting there. It was a huge, huge spider web. Obviously, didn't disturb it, didn't want to mess with the spider at the time. But to see that was just kind of amazing. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a highlight, but something to know is actually that the land that I hiked in, and that if you decide to hike as well, is actually Mexican land. And they have like little information there where they kind of give you like little historical, quick little briefs of what happened. So apparently this was Mexican land, and the Shafter brothers, I didn't do too much research on them. I did a little bit here and there. They have a little bit of information on them, but the Shafter brothers were there with their lawyers, basically displaced these Mexican landlords. And specifically that trail, eventually the Shafter brothers sold 2,200 acres of land to the Solomon Pierce and the Pierce Ranch, which became the only part of the land that wasn't owned by the Shafter brothers. Eventually, it was basically owned by the National Park Service. So that's a really kind of like interesting thing, that the Mexican landlords used to own this eventually, but then through lawsuits and probably litigation, they became displaced. So that's really, really interesting, at least to know that this land was once owned by Mexicans. Let me give you guys my final thoughts about this hike. So first and foremost, if you do decide to do this hike, go early. It's just the best thing. I personally always say this on my hikes: please go early, just because I feel that when you have the trail to yourself, you kind of experience a lot more. In my case, I was able to see a lot more elk than I think normal people would during the midday. I even saw elk as I was driving there, because it was like so early in the morning. I actually had to drive through some of the elk and kind of slowly push them to outside of the road, because they were right in the middle. So that's just some benefits of going really, really early. Secondly, please check the weather if you're going to go. That way you can prepare whether or not you need sweaters, long sleeves, sweats, thermos, just to be really warm. Secondly, also, you can also check if it's a really sunny day. I think this would just be even that much better if it is sunny, just because it's a lot clearer, especially towards the end when you get those ocean views and you can just see the whole ocean. It was really, really cloudy, so I was still able to see a good amount, but I'm sure it would be a lot, lot better if it was sunny. And lastly, you can check these amazing elk. These amazing elk were huge and massive, and just kind of seeing them makes you appreciate nature a lot more. A lot of them were really calm. I found a few that were just like sitting and relaxing and laying, and they just kind of like looked at me as I walked by. But just seeing kind of like how big and ginormous they are, you kind of just appreciate nature a little bit more. At least that's what I thought. But if you reach to this point of the video, I want to say thank you for watching all the way through. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification button. Let's help this channel out. Let's see it grow a little bit more. Also, go follow me on my other social media account, Steve.HernandezSJ. I'm also, when I'm posting here, I'm also posting there. And also, come back next week, because next week is going to be my latest and favorite food place. I found a Cubano sandwich that is nearby this hike in particular. I'm gonna give a little city. It's in Inverness. I've never even heard of this place, but I found this amazing Cubano sandwich that part of me wants to drive another 2 to 3 hours just to get the sandwich again. It was really that good. But with all that being said, thank you for watching again, and as always, take care and stay safe.